Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Shaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudire. Ashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktar Bhavati Nashtagi. Mugam Karoti Vachalam Bangum Langede Girim Yat Kirvada Mahamande Paramananda Madhavam. Sri Gurum Dinadarinam Sri Chaitanyamishram. Omajnanadvirandasya Jnananjanashalabhya Chachurummilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanyamanopistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadanti Supadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Udavadagamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagarajadam Sagada Regunadhanidam Sajivam. Sadvaitam Savadudam Parijansavidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Bhadan Shakandalalada Sri Vishakhanidamsha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagalpade Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namastude Taptakanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhana Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpadarubhya Chakrva Sindhubhya Vajapatidanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhudale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nidhi Namine Namaste Saraswati Deva Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vachati Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktavranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Welcome once more, all devotees. Hare Krishna. So we will start with the verse number 53 today. Hare Krishna. Okay, Prabhuji, I think we can finish today the chapter.
Yes, Prabhu, we will try.
Yeah, we'll try. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Verse number 53. Yatha Trivargam Gurubhiratmane Upashikshidam Na Sadhu Mene Tachiksham Dondaramobhavarnidam Yatha Trivargam Gurubhiranmane Upashikshidam Na Sadhu Mene Tachiksham Dondaramobhavarnidam. Hare Krishna. Translation purported by His Divine Grace, Abhajaranarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. The teachers Shanda and Amarka instructed Prahlada Maharaja in the three kinds of material advancement called religion, economic development, and sense gratification. Prahlada, however, being situated above such instructions, did not like them, for such instructions are based on the duality of worldly affairs, which involve one in a materialistic way of life marked by birth, death, old age, and disease. Translation once more. The teachers Shanda and Amarka instructed Prahlad Maharaja in the three kinds of material advancement called religion, economic development, and sense gratification. Prahlada, however, being situated above such instructions, did not like them, for such instructions are based on the duality of worldly affairs, which involve one in a materialistic way of life marked by birth, death, and old age, and disease. Hare Krishna. But the entire world is interested in the materialistic way of life. Indeed, practically 99.9% of the people in the three worlds are uninterested in liberation or spiritual education. Only the devotee of the Lord, headed by such great personalities as Prahlad Maharaja and Narada Muni, are interested in the real education of spiritual life. One cannot understand the principles of religion while staying on the material platform. Therefore, one must follow these great personalities as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 6.3.20. Swayambhur Narada Shambhuha Kumara Kabilo Manuhu Prahlado Janago Bhishmo Belir Vayasagir Vayam. One must follow in the footsteps of such great personalities as Lord Brahma, Narada, Lord Shiva, Kapila, Manu, the Kumaras, Prahlada, Prahlad Maharaja, Bhishma, Janaga, Bali Maharaja, Shukdev Goswami, and Yamaraj. Those interested in spiritual life should follow Prahlad Maharaja in rejecting the education of religion, economic development, and sense gratification. One should be interested in spiritual education. Therefore, the Krishna consciousness movement is spreading all over the world, following in the footsteps of Prahlad Maharaja, who did not like any of the materialistic education he received from his teachers. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Sri Kumar Prabhu. Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances to all assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. And a very important verse, actually, where Prahlad Maharaj mood is being reflected here. Here we can see Canto 7, chapter 5, verse number 53. The teachers Sanda and Amarka, they are the sons of Sukracharya, the demonic guru of the demons. So their sons are Sanda and Amarka. They are instructing Prahlad Maharaj in the three kinds of material advancement. There is Dharma, Artha, Kama, religion, economic development, and sense gratification. Okay, so Prahlad Maharaj, however, being situated above such instructions, did not like them, for such instructions are based on the duality of worldly affairs, which involve one in the materialistic way of life marked by birth, death, old age, and disease. So, very important instruction. Again, if you read that without Prabhupada's purport, we may not understand why it is said like that. Prabhupada gives very nice, explanation for this purport. The entire world is interested in the materialistic way of life. So, by default, if you see, people are always, they are engaged in this materialistic way of life. Because spiritual life means it is a matter of going against the current of this world. Like if you see a fish, if it is flowing in the river is flowing in one direction, and the fish can want to swim along the direction of the current. There is no need to take any extra effort. The current of the water is there. The fish can go along the current without any effort. But if the fish want to go against the current of the water, it has to put extra effort. So now this materialistic way of life is a current. Like everybody goes through the same path. So it is not at all difficult if you take up the materialistic way of life, because you need not put any extra effort. Whatever the world is doing, you can follow the same way, without any extra endeavor.
Yeah.
But when you take spiritual life, you should put extra endeavor. Like you see, now we go to the job, then the evening we come, other all people, they are watching television, they are going, outside for so on, But when some person takes Krishna consciousness, spiritual life, he cannot behave like that. He has to, after working, he has to come, he has to go take bath, he has to do arti, he has to do chanting. It is like he has to put extra endeavor. So basically, that's the main reason people don't come to spiritual life, because it is hampering their materialistic way of life. Second point, also Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, what is day for the spiritual people, it's night for the materialistic people. And what is night for the materialistic people is day for the spiritual people. Like whatever the spiritual people are doing, the materialistic way of people, they don't like that. Same way, whatever for spiritual people also, they don't like what the material people are doing. It's just like opposite. So that is one very important point to understand here. Both are opposite in nature. But the world which is following generally is actually materialistic way of life. And Prabhupada writes here, practically, 99.9% of the people are in the three worlds. Three worlds means Bhur, Bhuva, Swa. Upper planetary system, middle planetary system, and the lower planetary system. 99.9. See, Prabhupada does not say even 99. He says 99.9% of the people in the three worlds are uninterested in liberation or spiritual education. Very, very important practical point. Even though we know that this is the spiritual life is good, but people don't take it. Like there are people in the Western world, they are like putting their children in the Gurukul, right? If you go to Mayapur, you can see they are putting in the Gurukul, but like see our people, like we are very much afraid whether if you live like that, whether it will affect the children future or something like that. So even though like even after becoming devotee, still we have a question mark, like whether we can do all these things, it is big risk like that. So naturally, if you see our human tendency is to not take any risk actually. Because taking spiritual life means you are taking risk because you are giving up everything and surrendering. Sarvadharman parityaja mamekam sharanam raja means it is taking risk. You are actually putting full faith in the words of Krishna and giving up everything. But how many people can take the risk? Like even in our material education, they are telling comfort zone and risk zone. Okay, comfort zone, even the materialistic way of life, they are saying as long as you are in the comfort zone, there will be no growth for you. But when you go to the risk, if you take some risk in the life, then only you can progress. Correct, bro? They are saying like that, right? You should be ready to take some risk, calculated risk, they say. So even spiritual life means you are taking risk. Risk on the terms of what? Risk on the words of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Shastra is saying something, Guru is saying, and now the whole world is not accepting that, but you are ready to take the risk. Yes, I will follow spiritual life based on the instruction of Srimad Bhagavatam, based on the instruction of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. When you take the risk, then you can see what is the glory of that. Like Prabhupada taken the risk. What Prabhupada taken the risk is actually at the age of 70 years, he taken a cargo ship. And Prabhupada itself telling that I never thought that all these people will change. Prabhupada, when he boarded the cargo ship and when he landed in the Boston Pier, he seeing America is totally opposite, totally materialistic. Prabhupada did not have any hope actually. Prabhupada himself says that I did not have any hope that these people will follow the four regulative principles, chant Krishna's name. But I taken the risk because I want to fulfill the desire of my spiritual master. So risk is very important. But we are taking risk not blindly. We are taking risk based on, sometimes people take risk blindly. That is not encouraged also. We are taking risk based on Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. But normally people in this world, they don't want to go to that risk area. That's why Prabhupada writes practically 99.9% of the people in the three worlds are uninterested in liberation or spiritual education. People don't give importance, for spiritual education. Only the devotees of the Lord, headed by such great personalities as Prahlada Maharaj and Narada Muni, are interested in the real education of spiritual life. Now, if you see materially, there is something called Toastmaster Club, personality development courses. Immediately, the parents, they want to put their children, for good communication, for good personality development. They are interested to pay any amount of fee. But now we are also conducting, Prahlad Gurukul. We are teaching Bhagavad Gita slokas, moral stories. But people are not, even though we are outreaching this, but now very few people, except devotees children, nobody is interested to put. So we can understand how Prabhupada is actually, whatever he's saying, Prabhupada, whatever he's saying is practically 100% true. People are not, but if wherever you go for other kind of courses, lot of children are coming because they want to develop materially. So only the devotees of the Lord, headed by such great personalities as Prahlad Maharaj and Narada Muni, are interested in real education or spiritual life. So this is a fact. One cannot understand principles of religion while staying on the material platform. So as long as we are engaged or engrossed in Dharma, Artha, Kama, when we are in that platform, people cannot understand the essence of the religion. What they will do, people, even though they are in Dharma, Artha, Kama, they also go to the temple, but they do not know the principal essence of religion is to know God and love God. That they don't know. They go to the temple again to increase their material prosperity. Everybody goes to temple, but their principle of religion is prosperity in the material life. Okay, but actually essence of religion is to know God and love God. So, Prabhupada gives a important reference here. Because we are not able to understand, better to follow the great personalities. From Bhagavatam, it is there, 6.3.20, the Mahajana Sadhana. Mahajana Yeno Kata Sapantaha. Means we should follow in the footsteps of the great personalities. Example is given like, see, if we are pouring, how we are pouring water to the tree. Like, if you see, we are not able to see the root. But how we know if you pour the water to the root, the tree will be nourished? How we know? Because we see in our father, our parents, or somebody, our neighbor. When they are pouring water, they are saying, yes, if you pour water here, then the tree will get nourished. Based on their instruction, whenever we are watering the plant, we are pouring the water in the root. Like that, the great personalities, they have given us the path. You travel in this path, you will reach the ultimate destination. We have not traveled so far, but they have traveled. So they are giving the path that if you take up bhakti, devotional service, you will reach Golaka Vrindavan, back to home, back to Godhead. So based on their instructions, we are following. We are not doing any research on our own. Because our process is not to do any research. We have to just accept the Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. So that 12 personalities name is given here, who are the people whom we are supposed to follow for our ultimate success in spiritual life. That is Swayambhu, Narada, Sambhu, Kumaro, Kapilo, Manuhu, Prahlado, Janako, Bhishma, Balir, Vayasakir, Vayam. So there are 12 personalities you can see. One must follow in the footsteps of great personalities. That is Mahajanuyena Kata Sapantaha. Who are the great personalities? Lord Brahma, because he has received spiritual knowledge from Krishna himself. The whole Bhagavatam is revealed to Brahma. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kave Muhyanti Et Sureya. And Narada Muni, his son, because Narada Muni also got spiritual education from his own father, Lord Brahma. And Lord Shiva, Vaishnavana, Yata Shambhu. So, he is a great devotee of the Lord. And Kapila Muni, he is none other than the incarnation of the Supreme Lord himself. Manu also received this transcendental knowledge. And the Kumaras also received the four sampradayas we can see. Brahma, Rudra, and four sampradayas. Shri Sampradaya, Brahma Sampradaya, Kumara Sampradaya, and Madhva Sampradaya. So in that you can see the Kumara Sampradaya is there. They are also bona fide Sampradaya in the Vaishnava line. And Prahlad Maharaj, of course, we are reading Prahlad Maharaj past time only now. Prahlad Maharaj received the spiritual education from Narada Muni, spiritual master Narada Muni. And Bhishma Dev also, when Bhishma Dev was passing away from this world, Krishna personally came in front of him, and praised Bhishma Dev. And Bhishma Dev was able to see Krishna face to face and he left his body. So Bhishma Dev is a very glorious personality. He was interacting with Krishna in the Virya Ras. And Janaka Maharaj reference Krishna himself gives in Bhagavad Gita that great personalities, they already followed this path and achieved perfection. And Janaka Maharaj name is there. And Bali Maharaj, who is famous for his Atma Nivedanam. Out of this 9 process which we discussed last Saturday, that Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Mantanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. The 9th process of devotional service is Atma Nivedanam. Self-surrender, or surrendering your soul unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sarvadharman Parityajya. So Bali Maharaj demonstrated that. He given his head and told the Lord, keep your feet on my head. And Sukadeva Goswami, who is a speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam, and Yamaraj is also a glorious personality. He is also instructing Dharmam to Shakshat Bhagavat Pranitam. Whatever Krishna says, that is Dharmam. And if Krishna says, you take non-vegetarian food in Bhagavad Gita, we can take. There is no sin in taking non-vegetarian. But Krishna says, that's why Prabhupada says, it is not an argument between vegetarian or non-vegetarian. Whatever Krishna says, we have to do. That's what Yamaraj is saying to the Yamadutas. Dharmam to Shakshat Bhagavat Pranitam. What is Dharma? What Krishna says, you do, that is called Dharma. But Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Balam Toyam. Krishna says, offer me fruit, water, flower, or leaf. So that means we are offering that. Okay, so we should understand that whatever Krishna says, like even for Yudhishthira Maharaj, Krishna said, you say lie. Okay, like Ashwatthama died. But Yudhishthira Maharaj told, no, I will not deviate from truth. But that is wrong. That is sin now. Because Krishna said you should say lie, you can say lie. Krishna says you should speak the truth, you should speak the truth. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that divine quality is Satyam. Satyam means speaking truth. That is important. But when Krishna says that you can do like that, if you do, that is actually Dharma. Dharmam tu Sakshat Bhagavat Pranitam. So these 12 personalities are actually following. They are called as the Mahajanas. So if you follow their footsteps, everybody preach Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and Bhakti is the supreme path to attain his lotus feet. So in that footpath, if you are traveling, instead of doing our own research, we are actually safe. Those interested in spiritual life should follow Prahlad Maharaj in rejecting the education of religion, dharma, economic development, dharma, artha, kama, sense gratification. One should be interested in spiritual education. Very important. Spiritual education is very important. Why spiritual education is important? Because we are actually spirit. So spirit means we should know about our spiritual things, spiritual things. And the whole world today, in spite of so much material advancement, they are still having so much, they are not having peace of mind because they are giving importance only to matter and they are not giving importance to spirit. So Prabhupada says the missing point in the modern civilization is we are we are not giving importance to the spirit side. We are only giving importance to the matter side because you see whatever technological advancement we are seeing today, it is materialistic advancement. It is nothing to do with spirit. But if you give to the importance of the spirit side, then automatically our life becomes balanced. Therefore, the Krishna consciousness movement is spreading all over the world, following in the footsteps of Prahlad Maharaj, who did not like any of the materialistic education he received from his teachers. So Prahlad Maharaj basically is not interested in materialistic education. As Krishna says, those who are in the rishis or sages or those who are spiritual people, they are normally not very interested in material education. And those who are very much material education, they are not interested in spiritual education. But Prabhupada, however, in the Gurukul, he has established now we have Gurukul in Vrindavan, in Mayapur, Bhakti Vedanta International Gurukul is there, BGIS, uh, and also Mayapur. Prabhupada said you can give minimum education. There is no harm. Little bit of English for communication, basic English, and basic history, what has happened in this world, and basic things. There is now they are teaching everything. But apart from that, main is their spiritual education. They will teach Bhagavad Gita, they will teach Bhagavatam. So that will help their life. That will help them to keep their mind steady. That will help them to protect their mind rather than going into depression. Because even if you take material education, ignoring spiritual education, what happens? When they grow up, they get a job, right? They get good job. Material education is for getting good job. You go to IIT, NIT, like that. Now, if you see, practically, you can Google also. There are a lot of suicide happening in IITs because people are not able to cope up the stress. So why? Because the material way is designed like that. It is giving so much stress. There is one area in Rajasthan called Kota where they are training the students for IIT, for cracking the IIT exams. Very famous IIT Rajasthan Kota means. But there are a lot of suicide last year because the children they are not able to cope up with such kind of so much bombarding with materialistic thing. 12 hours class, then after that assignment and everything that they get burnt out, and they are not able to cope up with the other children. And then what happens? Out of the stress, they are not able to handle this much volume. But the parents are putting so much pressure to get into IIT. They are committing suicide. So this is all things happened. Now in Kota, ISKCON temple has been opened now. They are giving Bhagavad Gita. No, material education. We are not telling it is to be rejected. How much is required to maintain your life to get a decent job, 8-hour job? If you can become brahmachari, that's well and good. Like our Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu, he also studied material education, engineering graduate, and like Gaur Gopal Prabhu, our Gauranga Prabhu, they are all like gold medalists in the college. But after that, they become monk because they know that this material education only can give some comfort in material life. You can buy certain things out of your salary, and but finally you will be put into a lot of stress and you will move away from Krishna. That is the end result. But so there is no harm as long as your material education will not disturb your spiritual life. So even if you are working materially, but you are able to do your Krishna consciousness, it is good. And Prabhupada says, as much as early, you should wind up your material life also. So Brahmachari, Grasta, Vanaprastha. The age of 50, we should retire and spread, give all our time maximum to spiritual life. Maximum. Hear Bhagavatam. At least every day 15 to 18 hours, Prabhupada is saying you should give for spiritual life. At least for last 20 years. From 50 to 70. Then we can progress. So we should not keep like working up to the flag end of our life. Now people after getting retirement also they try to take up another part-time job. In India, like after 60 is the retirement normally. central government. So after 60, they are still having some health. Now our health at least maybe 65, 70. So they will take up another private job. And then they will go and work for low salary. Because they are telling, I cannot sit idle in my home. I am working always. So I want to take some job. Many people are doing like that. But that is not recommended. After 50 itself, Prabhupada is saying you should wind up your material life. And you should take up spiritual life like chanting, associating with nearby temples, doing some seva, whatever permits to our health, we can do some seva, maintain maybe their accounts, maybe help them in giving some books to somebody, assisting temple in whatever service, some kind of service, and hearing Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. That is very, very important after the age of 50. Vanaprastha. And then, of course, then we gradually progress in spiritual life. At least last 20 years, Prabhupada is saying that we should give full time, no more materially, because your life already materially you earned, you already put in bank, you are getting some pension, and then children are grown up, then no more go to material things. Fully focus on, this is practical advice what Prabhupada has given. So that we should know that the spirit is very, very important. Spiritual life is important and spiritual progress is important. If at all we want to save ourselves from the repeated cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. That's what Prabhupada, the verse also there, which involve one in a materialistic way of life, marked by birth, death, old age, and disease. So we should design our life in such a way that we should work, earn, save money, and at the earliest we should retire from this, and then we should take up spiritual life as full time. Hare Krishna. So any questions or comments on whatever discussed so far? This is what we can do practically. Best use of bad bargain.
Bodhi Hare Krishna. The starting stage, and the entire world is interested in the material way of life. Means the world are
99.9.
Yeah, here means the last word, uninterested in liberation or spiritual education. Means why they give the word liberation?
Yes, Prabhu. Liberation also good means liberation means, see, we have 4 things, no, Prabhu, in our Purushartha. They say, yeah. And approach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu given the Panchamaha Purushartha, that is Prema. So basically, our scripture is talking about 4 things only: Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Moksha means you should put some effort to get moksha, right? Moksha does not come easily. Okay. For moksha, you should take some spiritual, something you should take. Either you should do yoga, you should swadhyaya, read the scriptures, right? So normal population not interested in moksha also. Moksha also not interested. They are only interested in 3 things. Dharma means live honest life. Artha is earn as much money as possible, and with that money you enjoy your life bindas. Moksha, if you see Kali Yuga, how many people are interested in moksha? Correct, no, bro?
Devotees are not interested in liberation. Here, liberation.
No, this is not. This is not speaking about devotees. Here, see, Prabhupada is saying 99% of the people in the 3 worlds. So he's telling general. Common. 99% of the people in the 3 worlds are only interested or uninterested in liberation or spirituality. General people, not speaking about devotees.
The other 3.
Yeah, general category. General category, and that is a majority category also.
Yes.
Majority, yeah.
Okay,
Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Any other further discussions on this verse? Or we can go
next verse, Prabhuji.
Yeah, we can go next.
Okay. Verse number 54. Krishna, somebody want to read?
Okay, I will read, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu.
Yadasharya parabhrto grahamedya kuru karmasuhu yadasharya parabhrto grahamedya karamasu vayasi balakis tatra sabhado kruta shanai vayasi balakis tatra sabhaduda kruta shanai. Translation, Srila Prabhupada teacher. When the teachers went home to attend their household affairs, the students of the same age as Prahlad Maharaj would call him to take opportunity of leisure house or play. When the teachers went home to attend their household affairs, the students of the same age, Prahlada Maharaj, would call him to take the opportunity of leisure hours for play. Open. In tiffin hours, the hours when the teacher were absent from the classroom, the students called Prahlad Maharaj, wanting to play with him. As we'll see from the following verses, however, Prahlad Maharaj was not very interested in play. Instead, he wanted to utilize every moment for advancing in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, as indicated in this verse, by the word Kridakshana, at the opportune moment when it was possible to preach about Krishna consciousness, Prahlad Maharaj used the time as follows. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Again, here two things are given.
ഷുഗർ
Two
ഉള്ള
things are
ആൾക്കാരുടെ
mentioned.
ബ്ലഡ് കയറ്റാൻ പറ്റുമോ നമുക്ക്? അത് അവിടെ
Okay, so two
Bali
important
Mataji.
things
Hare
here.
Krishna.
Okay, one is actually when the break time is there, normally children, no, they like to play. Even in our school time, you can see when as soon as the children, teacher is coming late or a teacher is going out, children used to play. So here we
Yes.
can see the break time, the students are calling Prahlad Maharaj to play. And Prahlad Maharaj is a Mahajana. So he is not actually interested in playing. He does not want to utilize, waste any moment. In actually, you want to advance. Like Sri Kumar Prabhu are always trying maximum opportunity to hear. Now, every chance opportunity, I am seeing Prabhuji is very eager to hear from Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. So that is one sign that people don't want to waste the time. So that devotee mood is like that. So here we can see Prahlad Maharaj actually does not want to waste time and any opportunity, he wants to utilize every moment for advancing in Krishna consciousness. So that's one important point Prabhupada is giving. A devotee wants to utilize every moment for advancing in Krishna consciousness. That's one thing. And also second thing, Prahlad Maharaj is waiting. Kritak Shanai, the opportune moment as an expert preacher, he is waiting for the right moment when it is possible to preach about Krishna consciousness. Prahlad Maharaj used the time as follows. So two things Prahlad Maharaj is using. Whenever he is getting time, he is using the time instead of playing. He wants to advance in Krishna consciousness.
Krishna. Yes.
That's a very important point. And second thing, he is using the right opportunity moment. If whenever there is a right moment, because you cannot preach at every place, you should see always the time, place, and circumstance before preaching, whether it is favorable, conducive, whether the person is in relaxed mood, somebody is in tension, you cannot go and preach. Somebody is watching movie, you cannot go and preach that time. You should see the right time and right this thing. So here Prahlad Maharaj is seeing how to preach to these children. So here we can see that. I think if there are anything to discuss on this, we can discuss. Otherwise, we can go to the next verse. Because Sri Kumar Prabhu wants to finish this today, this canto, this chapter. Sorry. Hare Krishna.
Only word is Prabhu Kridakshana. That is a very
Krishna, opportune moment to
yeah, very
preach.
interesting.
So we
Yeah.
should know Prabhu when to preach and how to
Yes.
preach as an
Yes,
expert
Prabhupada.
preacher. Like Prabhupada one time, some disciples brought a big car, car racing person. He's so Prabhupada was sitting and discussing with him. And this person was talking to him, to Prabhupada about car for 1 or 2 hours almost. Car is like this race is like that. Prabhupada did not speak anything to him. And Prabhupada's disciples were surprised, like, why Prabhupada is not preaching now? 2 hours, 3 hours, or 4 hours, he spoke about car race. After 4 hours, Prabhupada slowly spoke. Oh, in car, there is also, sometimes when you drive fast in the track, you'll be exposed to danger like death. Yeah, he said, yes, death. You know how much dangerous it is, death? Yes. Then Prabhupada preached what is death. Then like that, he slowly preached Krishna consciousness. So, and second thing also, Prabhupada says that when you give the opportunity for other person to speak, 2-3 hours, then he also will give time. Okay, he heard to me 2-3 hours, let me also hear from him. It's not that as soon as we get a person, immediately we start speaking to him. Then he will think, what is this? Person is not listening to me, he is always talking to me. So that is also a psychology that we should give some time to other person to speak, to vent out his problems. Hear patiently 1 or 2 hours, then slowly connect some of his problems with the Krishna consciousness. Like this, this world is like this. Krishna also says Bhagavad Gita and Dukkalayam Shashvatam. So at least if you take the shelter of Krishna, Krishna will protect us like that, slowly. So preaching is an art actually, art of preaching. So Prabhupada, we should give the right time and the right way. We should explain as much as they can digest. Not that we immediately talk about Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. It is not
Yeah.
like that. We should tell,
Absolutely.
we are not the body, we are spirit, soul. So we are facing problem now. Even after death, these problems, we will again take another body. We should continue our problems. Better Krishna says like that. Like that we can say, and not that immediately they'll accept us. It may take time, to understand, appreciate the importance of this principle, philosophy. Okay.
Okay.
Hare
Harish.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Harish Ravaji.
Yes, Mataji.
Raji, since you said preaching is an art, you are so blessed with that art, Prabhuji. That is one
No,
thing.
no, Mataji. No,
Hari,
no.
Hari bol.
I don't
Hari
agree
bol.
with that.
Also, one more thing, Prabhuji, since you have quoted Shigumar Prabhuji, actually, I just wanted to mention, initially, for our Bhakti Vrisha, Prabhuji used to drop Mataji here and Prabhu go back. He don't attend. Okay? And the best example of Shravanam in this Kali Yuga is Shigumar Prabhuji, I must say.
Yeah. I also noticed. That's why I
The
said
way
that.
Prabhuji progressed and Bhagavan has arranged, his retired life, he's really, really enjoying and he's using it.
Yes. Very true, Mataji. Very true.
Very
Very true.
good.
100% agreed.
Yeah,
Because
Prabhuji.
what happens, Mataji, I have seen many people in India, after retirement, they take another job. You have seen like that, no?
Yes,
They will take
Prabhuji.
some small job. They may be manager in a company.
Yeah,
And
correct.
they get retired. After that, they become like, some small company, they
Yes.
go and they will take some menial post, like they become some accountant or something,
Because
he was actually,
financial burden, most of the people they will have, Prabhuji, and they will not have any other choice other than going to work
no,
and earn.
Mataji, here,
Yeah.
there are two cases, I will tell you.
Yes, Prabhuji.
There are people with financial burden. We are not actually talking about, we are not blaming them. Okay.
Yes.
Sometimes you see, sometimes also, sometimes husband and wife work actually. Also, like because of financial burden, there is no harm. Like because you have to take care of the family.
Yeah.
So that's okay. But now there are people who are telling, I cannot sit idle in the home.
Ideally, yeah. That
I
is
was
also
working
one
very
thing.
hard
Yeah.
all this day. Suddenly you tell me to work. I should do something.
Yeah, correct.
There are many people. I should do that. Something you should do is for Krishna.
Yes.
Not that something means you take up a company job again. You work 9 to 5 as a clerk or supervisor. That something should be for Krishna. After
Very correct.
after 50, 52 at least, because see, we are not telling. Shastra is telling, no, Vanaprastha you should retire. So how much practical we should follow? See, of course, people have financial difficulties. We cannot tell that, okay, you don't do anything. And and of course, see, in that case also, Krishna is telling, I will give what he lacks. And like Yoga Kshema. See, again, people who have faith, this is a question of faith. So one time also, like, this is like, again, how we should understand. They asked Prabhupada, like, Prabhupada, little bit the food is spoiled, can we take? Because it's prasad, it will not harm. Prabhupada said, if you have faith, you can take that food. But if you don't have faith, don't take it. See, this is very nice answer. If you have faith that Krishna will protect me, you can do.
Yeah.
Like what faith Prabhupada went to America? See, it is a question of our faith, Mataji. It is our question of faith.
Very true. Very true.
But reasonable faith. Reasonable faith. See, there are also people who are following this Pentecostal. You know that they don't go to the hospital also. You right? When there is something, they only keep on praying. There is fever.
Yes.
But Prabhupada did not blindly tell. Prabhupada is telling always this. Prabhupada never said you should not go for treatment. Correct?
True, Prabhuji.
But
Yes.
Prabhupada
Very
said,
practically. Yes.
Health is important.
Prabhupada was very practical. Prabhupada did not tell you don't go to this temple. No, Prabhupada
Health is
always was
important.
practical. He told, okay, go. If you go, tell Vancha Kalpatarupiste. No harm. You accept Krishna. So, but when you take the medicine, we should know that if Krishna willing only, that will be cured. Prabhupada also taken all the treatment, right? Prabhupada taken now, we see our spiritual masters also, when they have issues, they are going to hospital. See, we are not blindly following. But we are following, having reasonable faith means we take all the efforts, but leave the result to Krishna. Krishna will want to cure, he can cure us. If Krishna don't want to cure, we will not cure. But I have seen people who, there are extreme people, they don't go to hospital, they don't go to treatment, they tell everything God will take care. So Prabhupada never taught like that. Prabhupada said, you have problem, go, take treatment. But you should know, if Krishna will sanction, then only See, Prahlad Maharaj teaching will come. I don't know whether already we completed or not. Prahlad Maharaj says, even if you have an expert physician, maybe it will come next in this, after this next chapter, maybe Prahlad Maharaj is instructing, no? In that, Prahlad Maharaj say, even if you are traveling, you are an expert swimmer. If you go in a boat and you drown, if you are destined to be saved, then only you will be saved. Correct? So it's like last week, 2 days before, the Mumbai gateway of India, Mumbai. People went for, there is a sea near, no? Gate of Mumbai, if you have seen. People normally go for just for a ride in the boat. So they went in the ride and one Navy ship went and hit them by mistake. And 18 people drowned and died. But every day people are going in the boat. If you go, there are hundreds of boat parked there. Thousands of people travel in the sea near the gate of India. No, just make a round and come back. So even when I went last time, no, this March when I went to Maharashtra, near Chaupati temple only this gate. I also went, but I did not go in the sea, but just to see because it's a landmark. So it depends, like if Krishna want to save you, Rakshati iti Vishwaso. Krishna says, no, when somebody Krishna want to save, he can be saved. And Prahlad Maharaj gives second example. So first example is if you are drowned in the sea, if you are destined to save, you can save. And even if you are an expert physician, if Krishna want to save, then only you can be saved. It's not that because I went to America for treatment, I will be saved. There are many politicians who went to America and left their life there because the treatment failed.
Yes.
A lot of politicians, because they have too much money, they don't take treatment in India. They go to America. Like the chief ministers, they go like that. But after they going there also, they die. So thing is, we will put our efforts, but the result is whatever Krishna will give. As Prasad. He can save us. And there's one saying, when Krishna want to save somebody, nobody can kill him. And Prahlad Maharaj is an example. His own father want to kill him. But Prahlad Maharaj was saved by Krishna's mercy. And also if somebody want to be killed, like Hiranyakashipu took so much boon, but he was killed actually. So that we have to understand. That's why Krishna consciousness Prabhupada said, if you have faith, you can do. Complete faith if you have that Krishna will protect me, we can take that risk. But how much people have that complete faith? See, maybe our faith is 10% on Krishna, 20%, 30%. Prabhupada had 100% faith on Krishna. Then Prabhupada succeeded. Like our Guru Maharaj, we can see. He is undergoing so much physical difficulties. But he had 100% faith that Krishna will save him. But Krishna saved also. In 2008, when he got attacked, the doctor said will be like vegetable only. Vegetable means just he cannot do anything in his life anymore. Because that kind of attack, if you get after that person, never he can move, he can speak like that. But Guru Maharaj, he had a complete faith in Krishna. His effort, his activities become double before that 2008. He is giving more initiation. Still now he is giving initiation. Like last 2 days before also he has given. He has become double of what he was doing before the attack. He is doing everything. He is attending double the meetings, double the initiation, double the travel.
Very true. That enthusiasm of Guru Maharaj, I don't know. Every day by day, it's increasing only.
Increasing. It is a miracle. Yes. It is a living. He's a living miracle. Actually, it has to be entered in Guinness book. So it is like that. When people are spiritually empowered, nothing can stop them. Nothing can stop. Nothing material can stop them. And people are empowered spiritually. So that is a proof that Krishna has empowered him. Otherwise, materially, we cannot, even we get a fever, we are not able to get up next day. Small fever, headache, we are so much disturbed. So that is, we should understand faith. How much we have faith, Krishna will reciprocate. As people surrender to me, I reward them accordingly. But Prabhupada was always reasonable. You can see all Prabhupada was maximum giving the practical solutions, like whatever possible, whatever is do. Prabhupada said, best use of bad bargain. And like Prabhupada said, like even if you are working, at the last 20 years, totally dedicate for Krishna. Last 20 years. Give maximum time for Krishna consciousness. Because now you have settled everything, your family, your children. So don't focus because they will take care of their life because they are grown up now. They can take care. Don't interfere in their life much. They will handle their life. You handle your life. Like that, Prabhupada was very practical. And he has given that, see the whole scripture, like Bhagavatam you read, so much things are there that you should dress like in the bark of a tree. The Prabhupada did not tell all those things. Prabhupada said, okay, you chant 16 rounds, follow 4 regulative principles. He has simplified. See, the whole Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Prabhupada just made simplified to us. You chant 16 rounds, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Okay? And you follow 4 regulative principles. Be under the shelter of a spiritual master. Take guidance from him. Take blessing from him. And whenever you can visit a holy place, visit the holy place. Offer your food to the Lord. So this is more practical. It is not difficult. It is not difficult that even in Kali Yuga you can follow these things. It is not at all difficult, Prabhupada, what I has given. But if you sincerely take and follow, then definitely we can, slowly our heart will be purified. And when your heart is getting purified, then we get the strength and attachment to the lotus feet of Krishna. No? Then we progress towards his lotus feet. So in that way, we can understand that Krishna consciousness is very practically Prabhupada has given to the, so that every soul can accommodate Krishna consciousness, no? Whatever level they are. Somebody chants few rounds, somebody chants 16, somebody chants 64 rounds. And Prabhupada's spiritual master was even like, he was more heavy also. Bhakti, Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He said 64 rounds, and 64 rounds for initiation. And that is actually exactly, if you say 64 rounds for brahmacharis and sannyasis, and 16 rounds for grahastha. That is what Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So 64 rounds for brahmacharis and sannyasis every day, 16 rounds for grahasthas who are getting initiated. So Prabhupada was a grahastha, so he was given 16 rounds. But when Prabhupada given sannyas to Western people, he reduced that 64 to 60. He told, okay, because they said, it's difficult for them to do 64. So like that, Prabhupada was very, very practical and very, very accommodating. And even though we see Prabhupada, like, he's very strong in the books and all, in books in his class. But personally, whoever approached Prabhupada, he was very liberal. Very liberal. Somebody, he did, sometime he fall down from 4 regulative principles also. When they go and report to Prabhupada, he said, no, give him some time. He will recover. He will come. Give him association. Give him instruction. Prabhupada did not tell anybody to, you did not follow, get out of ISKCON. He never told anybody like that. He was very, very accommodative to all his Western, because many Western disciples, after some time, somebody fell down, somebody deviated, but Prabhupada was praying for them. Prabhupada was crying for them. So he was like very merciful, very compassionate, and like any pure devotee, paradukti dukhi. He was very merciful and compassionate for all. Like what we are seeing, Prahlada Maharaj also. Prahlada Maharaj also said, I don't want liberation. I want to see that all these people in this world should be liberated before my liberation happens. So that is a mood of compassion which Prahlada Maharaj has had, and he prayed that whoever envious person, that also I think will come now. Next chapter. Let all the envious person be pacified. Let them become devotees of the Lord. Like that he prayed. So Prahlada Maharaj teachings are very, very wonderful, very inspiring, and very much practical. The more we read Prahlada Maharaj prayers, teachings, we get too much vairagya also. Because Prahlada Maharaj will, if you go further, one of the best prayers, actually, you can see Prahlada Maharaj prayers to the Lord Narasimhadev. You can see that. It gives us so much valuable instruction. Same like Lord Rishabhadev teaching to his sons. That I think we will come next in coming chapter, 6th chapter, Prahlada instructions, demonic. Okay? Hare Krishna. So, Sri Kumar Prabhu, because we had discussion, we are not able to.
Thank you so much.
Healthy discussion.
Hare
Yeah,
Hare
very nice. But we had to hear from you. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So we are. So
anybody else I want to highlight any point also? We can have some 5-minute discussion. There is something, or else we can.
2 more verses we have in this. We will finish it tomorrow.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. So,
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Ananda Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Anything to add, Prabhu? Sarvada Mataji on duty, I think. So she
Hare Krishna.
studying only. Okay.
Yesterday, Prabhuji, on duty, Prabhu?
Myself, Prabhu?
Yeah.
Day before yesterday, night shift.
Okay.
Yeah. Night shift, 12 hours. 7 to 7.
Nobody was there.
Yeah.